See if this is working. Okay. Alright, looks like it's trying to go live. I don't have a duration yet, but, you know, hope springs eternal. Let's see what we got here. Alright, see if it's stable. Looks like we've been live for 30 seconds. Alright. Well, welcome back everybody to my stream. Got some iced coffee. I ordered some more coffee from Target. These things haven't all loaded in yet. I just finally replaced my old router, so I am gonna take this for a spin, and this is probably, you know, probably a good way to test this. I mean, I want to make sure this works for streaming because, you know, I do that a lot. Also, I might take my one of my new friends here and see if I can gain her some levels. May as well take the horsey since we, you know, could always use the carrying capacity. It's a beautiful day in the Exiled Lands, isn't it? Man. Coming? Alright, great. I picked up a couple of dancers for, like, I got a tier 1 and a tier 2 dancer from the volcano zone. So the other one's still at my base by the hidden volcano entrance, so. And, you know, she's rocking that metal bikini right now. So is the other one. Oh yeah, you know, it's probably, may as well take some plant matter to my other base. I think I harvested a little bit too much, but then I was like, you know, my other bases in the frozen north, like, they hardly ever have any plant matter available or plant fiber. Because, you know, that doesn't really grow there. Also, I, you know, those Catan caravan guards that, like, kept attacking me every time I went near the one by the Darfari camp. I captured one because I had to knock them all out anyway, so I got a new, I haven't given her a special name or anything yet. There's just Conan Exiles, and she comes with a Lemurian sword and some cloth armor. I gave her Zath armor just for, you know, style purposes. She looks pretty awesome. She's not really doing anything but ironically guarding my sorcerer there. So I hope life is treating you well wherever, you know, wherever you are at the moment, wherever you happen to be in the world. Hope you're having a good day or night, etc. Still got some spicy food. Got some pork feast. Could make a lot more of this if I go and go to the highlands and bonk some more boar to harvest them for pork. Don't know if I want to make that a priority today. We'll see what happens. I mostly just want to take her somewhere that we can go bonk things and, you know, get some cheap XP, so. So yeah, anyway. So things have still been a little hectic around here, but we're making the best of it. Let me pop this into my inventory here. Alright, come on, chin up, tits out. There we go. Trying to take a more positive attitude. See if I can... Alright, that's not what I wanted to do right now, but that's fine. Let's just go and see what I can do about some of these undead. I know I've done this a few times. I know that I'm just sort of doing this to chill out, not with any particular grand purpose in mind here. Putting these guys to rest is kind of its own reward. My nose is suddenly stuffed up. I just noticed that, I don't know if I'm going to be nasally or whatever, because I just noticed now that, like, my nose is a little congested. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm catching a cold. Because, I mean, as far as I can tell, it's not the other thing. You know, I've got my cootie shots for that, but, I was, you know, I was kind of, like, a little bummed today because I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't get anything done. And, like, that's not really true. I did get a few things done. I just didn't get everything on my list done. And maybe I'm just, like, I don't want to, maybe I shouldn't be ruining that by making the, you know, the perfect the enemy of the good and all that. I gotta go help her. She wasn't taking that much damage, but I didn't want to see how that was going to continue to go. Alright, let me heal a little bit. Yeah, it's like, it's a little after like 5 in the morning here in beautiful New Jersey, so this is kind of graveyard hours for, like, as far as U.S. Twitch watchers are concerned, but, you know, I could always dump this on the YouTube channel later. I mean, speaking of YouTube being a dump, you know, they've, you know, yeah, their management isn't making me happy lately. I mean, granted, neither is Twitch's, but, you know, I mean, that's, you know, shouldn't even pick on those two since, like, you know, I haven't seen too many do better yet. It is kind of laughable how, you know, how, like, how badly everything is getting sanitized anymore. That, you know, the whole reason that the internet was sort of new and exciting was that you could, you know, that it wasn't just like the, you know, just the canned corporate content that you would see on television. And apparently, you know, apparently the management is, like, of these services is, like, more and more trying to be like, well, let's like, you know, we'll screw in indie content creators. Let's just basically make this another Netflix or Hulu or whatever. You know, just like, you know, prepackaged, like, sitcoms and adventure shows and whatnot, and just, like, basically the same stuff that television has been doing for half a century. And it's like, yeah, but we're, you know, the reason people put up, and really, like, if you remember the early days of digital video, like, early days of, like, trying to watch any kind of video on a computer, that it was like, you know, you needed a top-end computer to get, like, what a crappy TV would do, basically, just because of the limitations of the, you know, we didn't really have enough memory or processor power to do the kind of video we do now. But people saw the potential, you know. And, you know, now it's like, you know, now it feels like they're sort of boldly going backwards, or, you know, maybe just boldly going in circles. You know, because, like, God forbid should there be anything edgy on the internet. You know, the whole idea that the internet has to be dumbed down or filtered down to, like, you know, E for everyone is kind of, it's honestly more offensive than anything that they're trying to filter out. It's a little ridiculous. And, you know, right now, like, some of the, you know, you have, like, a few services that are so entrenched that, like, you know, the competition, like, really hasn't, well, they sort of really don't have competition yet, but I mean, you know, their alternatives are sort of gradually trying to get there, but, you know, there are countless ways that could get sandbagged, because it seems like a lot of people just don't want that to, you know, they sort of, like, I mean, like, a lot of, it seems sort of like the establishment, I guess you would call it, just doesn't want indie content creation to, or genuinely indie content creation to be a thing. I mean, controlled opposition is fine, you know, stuff that, like, you know, like, mild, like, slap and tickle criticism of things that, like, really deserve, like, serious criticism. I mean, that's fine. You know, you can pretend it's fair. I don't know. Am I going too much into, like, drama territory here? Because, honestly, it's just, I don't know, maybe the, you know, the year I've been having so far, I kind of got no fucks left to give anymore. You know, I keep forgetting that, like, you know, this isn't the old days of, like, telephone booth hitboxes where, like, you know, you actually can miss somebody's legs by, you know, aiming between them. I don't want to go over to that event because I am... You doing the cha-cha? Didn't know that was one of her dances. Alright. But yeah, you have, like, you know, like, for example, YouTube is kind of, you know, kind of going that, like, you know, first of all, there was, like, the rules drop about the profanity, because oh no's are virgin ears, you know. I mean, frankly, anybody who's been on the internet a while, it's like you probably are not worried if somebody says fuck or shit in a YouTube video. I don't know who they're trying to appease or whatever. I think it's really just, they're kind of, you know, it feels like they don't want to admit sort of that they're what they're really doing, like, you know, they're sort of just trying to make it less and less attractive to anybody doing real content. Or, like, you know, mature content for adults. And I don't mean in that, you know, I don't mean sexual in that way necessarily. I just mean, like, you know, serious discussions of serious topics, whether they're political or social or religious or what have you. And it's like, I make an effort to keep that crap out of stream, because, you know what, like, I find it kind of... Well, I mean, I don't know. Am I breaking my own rules now? We'll see what's, you know, I'm trying not to, like, go into too much detail or blame any specific person, because, frankly, there's a lot of blame to go around. You know, we didn't get here by accident. This was, a long error chain of awful decisions by a lot of people. You know, and I don't just mean, like, the CEOs and whatnot. I mean, like, you know, the audience and... you know, and the content creators and so on. Like, you know, a lot of us have kind of, you know, maybe we made this kind of thing inevitable. But, you know, I find it kind of obnoxious when somebody, like, is just like, oh, well, while I have you here to watch video games, let me go on a political rant about some crap that grinds my gears right now. And it's like, well, it's probably not what I'm here for. Because first of all, I'm just sort of, like, you know, when you do that, you're kind of assuming that either everyone agrees with you, or that, like, you know, or that they should, if they don't agree with you, they should just sit back and suck it up, like, because now it's like, okay, well, if I disagree with the streamer, am I going to get banned? Am I going to, you know, are they going to single me out and, like, you know, like, trash talking me in front of the audience? You know, like, do I really need that shit in my day? And, you know, and also, if you pander to a bunch of people who are only there, like, only like you because they agree with you, what happens the second that you disagree with them on anything? Like, what kind of audience are you actually cultivating? Because I have seen, you know, the audience, like, turn on a content creator, and it is not pretty. And, you know, the problem is, it's like, if you just cultivate an audience of, like, trained clapping seals, you know, the second you say something that they don't want to clap for, you know, guess who's getting thrown to the sharks? One of the many factors that makes me glad that, like, this is not something I rely on for a living. You know, to the extent that I have a living, but anyway. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I don't know. Let's just go and see if we can find something to grind here, other than my gears. Yeah, I know the tone of tonight's presentation is a little bit different than usual. It's just like I know I look kind of like a mess because I look exactly how I feel right now, and like things have been a little bit of a dumpster fire this year, so. It's like every New Year's I have high hopes that, like, you know, maybe this is a fresh start, and then it doesn't usually take long for the for some kind of clusterfuck to happen. And, you know, I'm kind of not surprised that, like, all the people that I've, you know, that I usually watch in the middle of the night instead of doing this myself, you know, it's like that a lot of them are more or less checked out from this for the time being. You know, for who knows how long. Yeah, so here's my other, let's put them together, let them have fun together. It's my other dancer. This is the tier 1 and this is the tier 2. I haven't started leveling her yet. I like to not really, like, go ham, like, on the, you know, early on when leveling somebody, because I don't want to be like, wow, we're gaining levels so fast, oops, they're dead, you know. Which has happened to me a few times because I start pushing my luck a little bit too far, and then we run into a corrupted or run into a mini boss I thought we could take or something, and sort of before I realize what's happening, or, you know, can get them to retreat or whatever, you know, because if they hit me so hard that I have to back off and heal, there's not much I can do. You know, I end up just standing there watching them get killed, so that's not great. I have to put some of this crap away. Also, my star metal base got whacked again. It got hit with another meteor. I probably should have reconsidered building it that close to Skyfall Ridge, because it's very convenient as long as it doesn't get hit with anything, you know. I mean, it's good that, like, I mean, apparently they do a fair amount of splash damage. It's not just the direct hit from the meteor that breaks things. So, I mean, it's good that it was all, like, reinforced tier 3. I mean, if it was sandstone, probably the whole building would have come down. So that would have sucked a lot. I usually try to keep some of this odd alchemical stuff in just wherever. Like, any ingredients for any of these 4 recipes I usually throw in here, just so it's easier to remember what I put where. And some of this stuff can get thrown here. I don't really use bark in the carpenter's bench, but I don't know where else to put it. I mean, I guess I could put it in that rack over here, but I think it's full already. Yeah, so is this. Yeah, the only thing that, like, I really lost in that meteor strike was that there's one of my little campfires that was parked on the corner of one of the platforms that got the corner ripped off of it. Like, you know, I lost like a stack of like 1,000 coal, which is not really as big a deal as it sounds, because that building is next to a whole bunch of coal nodes that come back very fast, and I could recover that in a day. So that's not really such a big deal. What else was I trying to put away here? I could put this hardened steel in here. Just haven't really been using. I mean, I try to keep a variety of metals in the blacksmith's bench in case I want to craft something. But really, it's like I use star metal about, you know, 10 times as much as I use anything else now. Use this for make iron reinforcements, and then if I have a T4 blacksmith like this one, then I can turn them into the iron reinforcements into steel reinforcements 1-to-1 with steel fire, instead of doing 5-to-1 iron bars to steel bars and then making steel reinforcements. It's a lot more efficient that way. Yeah. Where did I put my... I think my fluid press is in here. Squish these skulls. I'm not capturing, like, and I'm not like doing any more witch hunts or whatever. I've kind of done enough of that event. I got a bunch of these coins. This coin is, this is the event currency, Ancient Obelisk. Actually, I wasn't wondering what that meant, and I was watching somebody stream that Dark Pictures anthology game, The Devil in Me, and apparently the narrator, or whoever that game says, I think they called it the same thing. An obelisk is like, it's a coin that you, you know, put in the deceased's mouth to pay the ferryman to, you know, take their soul along the river Styx or whatnot. Something of that nature. Although I don't know if that's an accurate description either, but it's kind of curious. Let me just make more bricks, I guess. Did I have a bunch of blood stockpiled over here? I guess I can make more blood sausage sometime, but I don't know if I have room for it. I probably do now, because I took some food out of that, I'll just leave it here for now. I actually got one of the black blood tools and kind of just like, I couldn't be bothered with it because it's like resource that's a real pain in the butt to get. Because aside from those demon guys that you kill during the events or in the surges on Isle of Sipta, you know, it's kind of hard to find that particular, and you need that to like repair the black blood based items and weapons, like, you know, the tools and weapons. So it seems like more trouble than it's worth. I don't know if they're, I mean, unless they like harvest some really huge amount more than star metal tools do, and I have star metal tools. A lot of the weird stuff you get, like you know, a lot of the weird recipes you get for like you know, iron or steel based or hardened steel weapons that use like really weird supplementary materials, like they have other, like the I guess maybe the Serpent Man armor would be a good example. Or not Superman armor, the Superman weapons. That you need, I think you need, like, demon blood or something for them, but, it's usually something like it's sort of a shortcut, like, they're usually sort of a poor man's star metal type thing, and it seems like once you have star metal, it's usually, like, unless they have some quirky ability or something, that's not really... Like, I would still wonder what the heck is... You know, it doesn't seem worth it. Like, I would still wonder, like, why they thought Obsidian was ever worth the effort, because unless they used to be better and got nerfed or something, and I just don't remember. But, and the Black Ice weapons also. It's like, you know, those are both things you can only make at, like, you know, forges that only exist in really hostile, like, sort of boss areas. And, you know, they're kind of either, like, on par with Star Metal or not quite as good. I wonder if they're ever going to do something with those to make them worthwhile again. Because they seem more like a gimmick than anything else. Anyway, I'm going to leave... I'm just doing that because it annoys me when food starts going bad in our inventory. Give her more arrows. Did I give her a bow? Yeah, I did give her a bow and arrows. Good. Alright. You know what I don't know if I have, actually? I don't know if I have any poison vials anywhere around here, and that was my torch. Okay. It's okay, I got more. Not too many more, though. I should probably actually make more soon. I've got one in a spare now. Let me get more spicy food, because it looks like this is going to be the last of my, fiery hot grubs are nice. But you need the pirate spices to make these. I don't know what the pirate spice is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like curry powder or something. But it makes like the double spicy food, basically, that gives you an immediate... Instead of giving you like one... It gives you like strong warming instead of just the regular warming. But it's like really... It's like a short burst of it. I think it doesn't last as long as the other warming foods do, but it gives you a bigger boost. So it might be good for stuff like countering the, you know, the freezing effect from like the giant attacks and so on. I mean, I could carry these around. Just take some of this with me, maybe. I don't know. You know what? This lasts a lot longer if you're in an area where you're not using it, so the Feral Feast is nice. I'll take that in case I get cold. It's gonna bother me all day that one of these is like $1 short on coal, isn't it? Yep, there we go. It's not compulsive. Let me move this bed. Oh, I moved some cooks over here so that my stations aren't completely unmanned. I think I also moved some... didn't I move some tanners in here to the tanning table and the tanning bench? Yeah. Alright. Moved an armorer in here. Still don't have an alchemist. I put a cook over here for the fireball to make it faster. I have T4 blacksmith and carpenter already, so that's already sorted. I moved a couple of lowers here, blacksmiths here, just to speed up crafting a bit. I'm not taking her with me right now. I'm just gonna hoof it by myself. I just want to drop some of this in the, my, what do you call it? My compost heap at the Star Metal base doesn't even have, like, barely has any plant matter in it because there are no plants to harvest around there, and I never brought any plant matter over. Or if I did bring it over, I think I ended up spinning it all into twine. Plant matter is one thing I should probably harvest a lot more often than I actually do. So I keep forgetting how many uses you have for it. You can make twine, you can make spices, you can run the compost heap, it's used in some food recipes. You know, you can have a whole bunch of stacks and be out of it before you know it. It's also kind of gross that I keep, like, you know, splitting stacks. Like, you know, I run out of plant fiber and don't know where to get any. And, like, you know, and if I have a ton in the compost heap, I end up splitting the stack that's in the compost heap to, like, to brew herbal tea or something. And it's like, ugh. Try not to think about it. And also to make gruel, of course. And I think you make bread the same way. I think bread is basically the gruel recipe, but you also need leavening agent, and you have to do it in the furnace instead of a campfire. I really am trying to sit up straight. Not trying to be a terrible example for America's young people in terms of posture. I mean, this is a mature stream, but you know, for me, like, young people means 20s now, because, you know, because get off my lawn. What else do I have here? I'm just gonna put this here for now. Actually, when I just until I get out of the cold area, I'll keep that there. The only thing with the warming food is that you don't want to accidentally pop some of that when you're in the volcano already, or something. That's or even some of the hotter areas of the desert. It's not really great. Even if it's not at the point where you start taking damage, it does increase your. I think it's like cold increases food consumption and hot increases water consumption. So your meters run down a little faster. Forgot what a long hike this is without the horse to speed it up. That's why I didn't service the space that often. I didn't come here to resupply it as often as I should have, probably. I really kind of, like, I was racking my brain for any other game to play tonight, and I'm like, you know, let me just stick with something familiar because I feel like shit and I just want to relax. Oh, goodness. When does the hurting stop? Could always be worse, I guess. It's been an adventure. This doesn't look like Candy Mountain, though. I actually kind of hope we don't get more star metal right now. I just got, like... I mean, as I had mentioned previously, we got whacked with... star metal again, so I just made a whole bunch of stacks of star metal in the furnaces and I moved it off to my other base because I don't really use it here. I just make it here. I don't know why I still have an obsolete stove here. I mean, I don't use it that often, but there's probably no reason for that. I was considering, like, do I need to maybe... See, I only have, like, 33 plant matter here. Let me beef that up. You know, I was considering, should I keep anything outside these workbenches because, you know, I never know when a rock is going to hit them now. I guess I could just harvest coal for the hell of it while I'm here. See, like, this is what this used to be another Wheel of Pain just like on this side, but there's one of the ones that the first time the base got hit, this is, got obliterated, so I just threw one of these here real quick. So, like, I grabbed the loot bag that still had the, you know, Taskmaster in it, so, you know, crisis averted that far, but, you know, I used to have a wolf here and here, and they got obliterated in the impact, so... That was kind of sad. Let me just go get a drink of water here. Put this well here for a reason. If I'm coming from that direction, it also helps me see, like, which way my base is. I'm just going to whack some coal right now. It's really bizarre how, like, relaxing this is, that it just, like, you know, helps you sort of zone out. It's like a very zen experience, like trimming a bonsai tree or something. I brought enough steel reinforcements and hardened bricks here to redo the entire facility. So now it's not tier 2 building anymore; it's tier 3. So it should be a little more robust. I mean, it's still not going to stop like a meteor impact. Like if meteor impact hits a tier 3 piece, it's going to break it. But at least the splash damage will break everything else within a couple of tiles. So. And I went around with the repair hammer and shored up anything that was a little bit damaged. So everything should be up to my 2 guards, Laverne and Shirley, you know, obviously. We used to have a Fonzie here, but he didn't make it. One of my many misadventures in leveling. Just throw some of this in here. I think I need all this elsewhere, so... I have spare outfits here for some reason. How are we doing on food? I've also got a couple of T4s over here guarding the food supply. A little spicy food here. Could definitely make more if I had more plant matter. Really have to go run pretty far down the hill to get some, though. It's also going to take a while to grind it. More generic, not that great food here. Don't know why I even bothered making this, except I wanted to see what the recipe looked like. Oh, this gives you a health boost? Interesting. Didn't know that. Actually might do that right now, just for... I mean, sure, why not take the bonus? I've got some more storage up here, too. Just want to make sure I didn't accidentally take the ice out of any of these. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to do that, because then everything in there will go bad. It only works if you have at least one stack of ice. I think you can even just have one piece of ice. It doesn't have to be the full stack of 100. But it used to work completely different. It used to be that you had to put ice in with the food, and the ice and the food would all, like, they'd have a 10 times delay on decay rate. So they'd last 10 times as long, or decay 10 times as slow, depending on how you look at it. And then they just decided to make it, like, just, you know, the food is just, like, it just stops the timer completely when they're in there, as long as there's ice in. So it's just, you know, you can leave stuff in the freezer forever, and it'll just be, it'll still be good. I decided to stop carrying as many of the special arrows around as, like, I was carrying, I think I had like 100 oil arrows and 100 explosive and 100 poison, and I'm like, I don't even use those that often anymore. I mostly just use razor arrows, so let me just carry those. If I'm ever going on some kind of, some dungeon or something where I know that I'm likely to need all that stuff, maybe I'll, start bringing them with me again. Yeah, so all of this is T3 now. I noticed that on the railed, T3... Like, I mean, if you call this a railing, this is like, this so-called railing is like ankle level. I don't know how this qualifies as a railing. It doesn't really help you climb the thing. But I noticed that when you put this, like, compared to the Tier 2 railed staircases, this doesn't really look the same. Don't really know why that is. And I made sure this has enough torches that I could see where I'm stepping at night, that, like, I can see where the turns are, so I don't just, like, run off an edge into space here. Alright. Well, let's head back where we were going. Back to our other base, I guess, or do I want to go down the hill and try and get some plant matter? I don't really have any room to carry any, that's the problem. I should have to bring my horse for that. Carrying a lot of crap right now. How much is this? Well, if I ditch this, I could probably get plant matter. I just dumped this in a chest for a minute. I don't remember how far down I have to go here to get plants, though. I think I have to go way down to, like, almost to the highlands before you even start to see shrubberies again. I'm just going to leave this stuff here. Honestly, I don't know if this chest is still necessary or helpful. This is also very close to, the corner actually broke out this tile that I could, like, stand outside and, like, I think I have a screenshot of that I could, like, you know, stand, like, up here and look down through the hole until I can see my two, you know, smelters sitting there waving at me, more or less. So, yeah, that's not great. On. Actually, let me put this on until I know where the until I know if I'm going to run into a monster. I don't know how far I'm going to have to go to find plant fiber. We'll see. Just harvest as much as I can carry and then run back real quick. Try not to run into a bear or something. Where the fuck am I going? Yeah, if I want to get down to the temperate area that's likely to have any plants, I need to go south, not north. Got all turned around already. Alright, this looks like it might work. Is this that gray lupine or whatever? Yeah, it is. I can grind that into spices at least. That's pretty much... I don't really make gray dye because why would I dye all of my stuff gray? You know that I don't... It's not usually my style. So... I started just throwing all that in the grinder. Honestly, most of my dye ingredients, like if I start harvesting a ton of flowers, it's like I already have so many dyes stockpiled that it's easier to just grind the flowers into spice usually. Now after this, the only trick is going to be finding my way back to my base without running into something I don't want, like a saber tooth. I really hope this like series of plants isn't leading me straight toward a corrupted wolf or something. Excuse me. I think I hit a rock. Yeah, we're getting near full capacity here. Gotta be careful how much more we grab. Watch me get over encumbered right before the corrupted wolf attacks or something. No, that's coming. No? Alright. Don't see any bears either, so it might actually be getting away with it here. Alright, I think that's enough. I think one more and I end up over cucumbered again. Like having bandages on deck just in case I do run into a tough fight. Now, which way am I going to get back to my ridge? My Skyfall Ridge base. Not to be confused with Heartbreak Ridge. Or Hamburger Hill. See? As soon as I saw that well, I knew I was going in the right direction. Now, I'm just going to throw a stack in here to make spices, I believe. Actually, do I even need this much in here? Let me just, yeah. It's fine. It's totally sanitary. It'll be fine. Yeah, I can throw this in here too. And that, because when am I ever going to grow this, just so I can grind it, so. Might have to chill out here for a bit. Could wait up on the roof for a couple of minutes. I don't know how long that's going to take. Just have a seat. Watch the world go by. Or I could dance up here. Did I get a new dance? I don't remember. Well, I got this. That's, yeah, that's disturbing. Don't do that again. You know, I've used this. Usually I use this during, sort of as an outro that when I'm about to log off. She looks like she's having a good time. I kind of like this. This is like very spinny, like almost like breakdancing type dance. This is kind of neat. Just like does a kick flip and everything. It's like this little part where she looks like she's doing like the Tetris dance, like, you know. Oh wait, I already did that. It's ancient barbarian custom for yeah, you know, we're not, let's not go there. It's the war dance. Yeah, go sports ball. So she's gonna go watch the Army-Navy game or something. Yeehaw. Catan dance. I like the leaping, like, you know, the mid-leap makes like a really nice screenshot if you want to, you know, against some backgrounds. Whee! Where's the other one? Aquilonian dance. Yeah, this is like pretty basic, just, you know, just sort of like, you know, doing like little scissor kicks with her hands on her hips. You know, do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. And there's the snake dance, which is like, you know, seduce me. I am not one of your chicken wenches. Let me see how much of those spices are done. Still got a ways to go. I don't have anything to do with these insects right now, really, because I don't have any fish traps in this area because, you know, no water. So, kind of hard to catch fish on land. It's pretty brisk out. I like the dye job I did on this. This is like mostly I did, I don't remember all the colors I used. I think I used like red, pink, and I think light magenta and dark magenta because I had some of those, the light and dark magentas already crafted, so I wanted to put them to use. I think I used that for stuff like the waistband. Maybe. I don't remember. Or some of the bands and like straps and whatnot. But basically like the base is, the background is red and the like the spider webby parts are pink, and I think I used magenta on the other parts, like the metallic parts maybe. I don't remember exactly how I did that. I have to go and like look at like what I yeah, did it kind of like that. Oh, actually I think this is like bright red and blood red and the other parts are pink. Yeah, I don't remember. See, I do this stuff and I don't even remember how I did it. Because it's hard to tell the color sometimes because depending on what you put a color on, like whether that part of the costume is either cloth, leather, or metal, you get, you know, it looks different because it has different reflectivity and so on. Like, you know, if you put it on like a regular cloth part or a dull leather part or a shiny metal part, you know, the same color can look like 3 different colors. So it's kind of tricky to figure out what you did and how you did it. I think once this gets to 100, I'll have enough to do 1 stack of my meat. That I have a bunch of shredded roast already cooked. The shredded roast you have to cook before you can spice it. Savory meat, the exotic meat, you can just they have to be raw to be spiced. It's not like I really need more of that here, but I like to have some, you know, just because I might go straight from here to a really cold area where I really need it. Alright, while that's going, I'm just going to do this. Let me go get some of that right now. No, not this one. The one in the middle. There we go. I can at least get that started. Hope I don't get that silly bug where stuff like instantly goes bad as soon as the timer starts. Seems like not this time. Still one of those like sort of random, really old game glitches that sort of never got 100% ironed out. I don't see it too often though. Yeah, so I have thrall pots and feed benches here. I just don't really have anything to put in them. I could just grab honey from my beehive and just toss that in there, I guess. That's not an attribute, or like that's not a growth bonus for any of my followers, but at least it's like something for healing instead of nothing. I like this crazy little staircase. I'm really proud of this. Especially since I had to angle it with the wedge foundations and stuff like that for this part. I don't know how I got this to work. Also kind of hoping it doesn't get crushed by a falling rock at some point. Oh, shite. Well, we're gonna find out. Alright. Is my base in one piece? Okay, well, it looks like we're star metal farming. I see one right up there, actually. Well, you know, strike while the iron is hot and all that, so... Let's get to work. What do we got? There's one over there. It's going to be a little bit of a climb to grab it. Shouldn't be too hard. Now I just need to put some explosive arrows into my... See, I think the way you were supposed to do this, though, was you were supposed to, like, use either grease orbs and explosive orbs, or, like, the oil arrows and the explosive arrows. Like, you're supposed to do this first. And then, the explosive one would, like, detonate the oil, I think. And then just wait for the fire to burn out before you do the thing here. See, that's a lot of damage if anything stands in that. So that's like the advantage of like the grease and the explosive combo. Also, I know that the poison dust, like one way to get rid of the poison arrow or poison orb clouds, is to you know, you can either douse them with water, like a water orb, or if you set them on fire, the poison dust is flammable. So, you know, it'll apparently just go up in an explosion if you do that. So that's like an alternate way to get that out of your way if that becomes an issue. I don't really need any of those goats up there. I'm sure they're all goated. I'll just take their word for it. I mean, usually, for me, like, it seems like about 9 times out of 10, the explosive arrow is enough. So I might just stick with that. Oh, hello. No. Let's not fall to our, leg-breaking demise here. Alright, that's a little... Really? Usually I don't have that much trouble vaulting right on top of one of these. Okay. I mean, the second I'm done harvesting this, I'm going to slide down this hill, though. I'm going to have to grab myself again. Let's get our stamina back, just for that. Alright. Now, I saw one fly over this way. Didn't see where it landed, though. Oh, I see... Is that 2 of them stuck in the wall there? If they hit the side of a cliff, they just kind of, like, stick in the side of the cliff there. Let me just... Yeah. Yeah, that actually looks like 2 of them. Oh, what fortune. Wow, that's convenient. Alright, let's do the top one first. Also going to be a little over encumbered pretty soon. Gonna have to run back to the furnaces with this. Too bad I don't have a rhino head soup or something. Okay, nice catch there. Wait. Can we do it? Can we do it? Ooh, convenient. That's a lot of star metal ore. Beautiful. Alright, I think that's enough for now. Let me try and get back to my base. See, I'm gaining, since I'm over encumbered, I'm gaining, when I try to regain stamina, it's coming back very slowly. So you're not supposed to let yourself get in this situation. I think 4 meteors is enough for today. I'm so glad my base didn't get chilled with that crap, though. That was getting old. Every now and then one lands like in the middle of the iron ore and it kind of blends in, so you might be worth looking around down there a little bit later. Get my stamina back and just try to shimmy over to the staircase. I don't have to worry about another one for a while because they don't come twice in a row. I think there's a fairly long cooldown on them. There are mods to change that, like if you want star metal to happen more often or more like on a regular basis, like every so many game hours or whatever. It's, I think I was just looking at a description in the workshop for something like that recently. The only mods that I've used so far are, for a while when I was like doing sort of an RP thing with an online buddy, she got me into Pippi, Immersive Armors, and Devious Desires, all of which I can recommend because they're all very good mods. Oh, wait a minute. You know what, it doesn't matter that much. Alright, I think I have enough to do the whole load here. Should be about 261, I think. I've got enough brimstone. Got more than enough black ice. Let's get that going. Yep. Alright, now that I've offloaded that, let me see if I missed any rocks. That. No, this is just iron. Yeah, the iron, the ones like the meteors don't have pointy bits like this iron does, so I don't think any of these are meteors. I mean, also, I guess if a meteor landed directly on one of these, it would shatter it, so I'm assuming they take damage too. Don't see anything laying on the ground here. I'll probably watch the VOD later and be like, oh, I walked right past one, but, you know, I can live with that. Got more than enough right now. I mean, while I'm here, I could just grab some more coal, because why not? Yeah, like losing that entire stack earlier meant basically nothing because of, it's so easy to get over here. And it comes back pretty quick, as you can see. Like, I've only been streaming an hour, and, like, you know, all the coal is already back now. enough for now. At least we got to see a meteor shower without, you know, anything exploding. Didn't have to use my AK. Today was a good day. I was wondering if the lightning flashes would have illuminated any more of those rocks, but it doesn't look like. I have lots of seeds elsewhere. I could just throw some seeds over here. That unencumbers me a little. I mean, I even could throw them in the grinder, because what am I going to use the seeds for? But, well, I might need to make a gruel later if I want to capture somebody and want to train them down there. I don't even have an armor bench down here, and I'm probably not going to use either of these as much as I'm going to use the oil and the leather. I'm going to make more of that in a minute. What can I put down here for a second? Just don't want to be dragging my ass all the way up the stairs here. Oh, I had more of this here too, didn't I? I can't see shit. Okay, those are some better than average screenshots. Sorry if the stream lags when I do that. Sometimes it does that. That's as good as that's getting. If I make one more piece of spice, I can spice one more piece of food. Got to give something a rest to give some weight back. This is exactly the part that got broke off by that rock that one time. I don't know. Just leave some of this. Well, yeah, that's still not going to make it. All right. Don't leave all of my arrows here. I probably don't need them right now, though. Yeah, I'm a little short on carrying capacity. Wow, I still can't move. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not going to make a difference, alright. I mean, I'm going to have to store these bugs in the fridge or something. Yeah, each of these stacks weighs as much as a stack of arrows, so maybe I should get rid of this. I don't know, I'll figure out a use for this later. This takes a long time. Star Metal can really take a while to make a full batch. Also need to bring more brimstone over here because next time I get one of these, I'm going to run out of brimstone. I know I have some brimstone in my other bases, and it's also not that hard to farm. I know where to look for it. Just going to let this finish. Alright, I think everything's in order here. I don't know why I have my torch on. Did I leave something on that artisan bench? Let me check. I think I got it, but I'm just going to double check. No, I didn't leave anything. Alright. Onward to victory. Oh, you know what? I better change. Put my razor arrows back on before I try to guess why all my arrows are exploding, and I'm wasting exploding arrows on everything. I've already done that once off stream, so let's not do that again. You know, now that I've gotten the hang of the archery, I really should have been exploiting the heck out of archery, like, all this time. Like, my main use for archery before was that I would usually just have a bunch of thralls up on a roof of all of my bases, just ready to rain arrows on people. Didn't really use it that much myself, except when I was trying to cheese certain encounters by standing somewhere they couldn't reach me. But, you know, then when, like, tethering came into the game, like, you know, when they gave everything, like, tethering behavior, that was kind of the end of that. You couldn't really just, like, kite bosses out, you know, out somewhere that you could just, you know, plink them all day and they would, like, not figure out what you were up to. That, yeah, I knew that was going to miss. Right. Oh, I don't like that at all. That really lowers your temperature a lot if that hits you. It's like an ice blast. If I managed my stamina a little better, that would have been, like, you never even would have gotten that close, though. Also, I should have used the mounted combat a lot more, because that's such a game changer, and I never realized how much of one it was. Like, even in the player versus environment stuff, it can be really helpful in some places. Some mounted archery is a lot of fun when you can get it to work. Just got to get the hang of it. I'll drop by that base sometime later, maybe next time I'm around here to, yeah, you know, I was like, originally I came in here, like, wanting to level that thrall and whatnot, and I ended up, like, never taking her anywhere. She's probably tapping her foot impatiently right now. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. Might actually have to be a next session thing kind of thing though, because I might actually be just about wrapping it up for now. Did I have anything else here that used coal? I don't remember. I don't even remember how that got in there. Alright. No. What was I putting in here? Plant matter. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I think I was dismantling a bunch of stuff from when I had fought some of the volcano dudes up there. Alright. No. Oh yeah, I put all my silk in here because I was making bowstrings. Could actually put that back though. Just gonna relax and sip my coffee for a second. Damn, that's nice. Been branching out from the pumpkin spice a little bit. I love pumpkin spice, and I don't want to ever make myself hate it by having it for every single pot of coffee, so kind of overdid it when it was available for the holidays. So I got some salted caramel, got some toasted almond, some coconut, some chocolate. All good flavors. So yeah, my sister doesn't do any of those. My sister is like, I don't want anything in my coffee but coffee. I don't, you know, she doesn't do any of the, like, you know, fancy, you know, it's kind of funny that I'm the basic bitch of the family, but yeah, I always love my, like, you know, flavors with, like, you know, milk and sugar and everything. She just drinks it black. I have a lot of my coffee on ice, too, which is like she doesn't do much either. I don't think she drinks iced coffee. Yeah, I don't know where to go next from here. Well, you know what? Let's at least try and knock somebody out here. Where can we go to get into a good fight? Guess we could go down the hill and do undead again. I mean, sure, why not? You know, whatever. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. I'll just leave the horse at home. The horse is already fully leveled, and I'm not going to need to carry that much stuff. See how many skellies we can whack. So I ended up getting a bunch of the coins from that event, and I just, like, you know, I had enough to buy a supply package and get about 6 more legendaries. I just got a bunch of copies of Frost Shot, honestly, because I already got some of the other ones. And you don't really seem to get legendary bows that often. You seem to get like 1 legendary bow for about every like 5 or 10 regular, you know, like melee weapons you get. You don't get ranged weapons all that often. So I was like, well, sure, why not? I have no idea how that glitched that I didn't get any full damage, but I'll take it. Sometimes the game just decides that like 1 inch of water or like just like the slightest slope that you could like grab and slide down somehow means that the fall doesn't count. So, you know, I certainly wouldn't argue with it in that case. And why leave that on the table? And she's already in a fight. Alright. She's beefy enough that I'm not too worried. You know, the nice thing about skellies is that, you know, in undead in general, is that at least corrupteds aren't a thing. Like, if you're fighting hyenas or turtles or whatever, you have to, there's always the chance that one of them will spawn as a corrupted, which is kind of like a mini-boss. Whereas the undead are just undead. I guess the undead can't get possessed because that wouldn't make any sense, but, you know, they're already undead. Well, as much sense as any of the supernatural stuff makes anyway. They don't really drop all that much stuff, so I'm not too worried about encumbrance. They usually drop like a few iron bars, a skull, a few arrows, stuff like that. He had nothing. Oh, this is the one where there's like 4 of them over there, I think. See, I prefer to, like, bring them over with arrows. And get a few free shots on them before they get here. Now, if she wants to stand behind me and not, like, stand in front of me and block my shots, that'd be amazing. Right in the butt. And this guy's, like, almost, yeah, got 1 down before he even got here. Really needlessly taking hits from these guys because I've kind of gotten a little careless. I think I've beaten so many of them I kind of start underestimating them now. You really can get in a lot of trouble if you get surrounded or cornered by them though. She's not doing too badly. Glad I can't hurt my own follower because I hit her a lot. I love the aesthetic in this game because they made it like this really cool combination of sort of like all of the, you know, of like the Conan movie and the, you know, the Frazetta art and the Marvel comic. Like there's sort of, you know, like how the, you know, you look like the costumes and weapons and like how the, you know, the weapons do those little ink trails. It's just, it's so friggin' cool. It's like the last time I saw a game that like, well, last time I saw anything with the aesthetic was like sort of this like spot on for the characters or for the setting was probably like Batman the Animated Series. I remember that from back in the day when that was new. Like, because they did this sort of, it was sort of like a mashup of like the comic book style and the Tim Burton movie style and, you know, a little bit of the Adam West series campiness, and it was like such a perfect blend of everything. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, for this, as far as I know, the only thing this is like really based on though is like, as far as the license, I think only I mean, except for like the one DLC that's specifically from the movie, you know, like the Riddle of Steel set DLC, that I think they're just licensing it like from the stories. So like the stuff like the comics and any previous, like, you know, like the Conan the Adventurer cartoon and whatnot, it's like that's not part of the license. That would actually be kind of funny if they ever made a DLC for that. Just have like the, you know, have like the set, the you know, like the acrobat and the you know, the you know, the Viking dude and the wizard war and whatnot. Like, that would be kind of hilarious. As adventure cartoons went, that was actually pretty decent. It was like, you know, one of those, like, you know, I mean, that was also 90s era, like the Batman and the X-Men cartoon were, but, you know, it was like stylistically, it was a little bit more like the, you know, like G.I. Joe or Thundercats or whatever, as far as like, you know, the storytelling and so on. I mean, obviously that one was like literally. I mean, trying to make a kid's property out of this is actually kind of, you know, it's a little on like several levels, I guess. But they actually said, I remember reading somewhere that they were going to do a Conan toy line, or I think like Hasbro was, and then they realized, not Hasbro, Mattel, but and you know, they took a look at, like, because I think this was around the time the you know, the Schwarzenegger movie was out, and they quickly realized that, like, you know, there is no way we can adapt this to like a kid's property, like, you know, with all the crazy violence and sexual situations and whatnot that goes on. Like, you know, it's like, should we even be, even if we don't include any of that stuff, it's like, should we even be referencing that? So they ended up reworking the whole idea, and that's how we got He-Man, supposedly. That since they had already started like character designs and whatnot, and they really wanted the idea of having sort of a fantasy barbarian toy line, you know, like they realized that, like, yeah, like Conan isn't going to happen, but we can do sort of like an off-brand Conan, and that's how we got that particular universe going. So I guess without that, there would be no She-Ra or whatever. Wasn't there... Yeah, there's another chest just in here, isn't there? Yeah. Well, none of this stuff is bad. I'm starting to... Do I think that she could survive in there? I think that's probably a bad idea. I think the dudes in the Black Keep are a little more beefy than the average dudes. I also don't know how easy it is to get in or out of here if you start having trouble. Well, this is me flirting with disaster. Actually, you know what? The mace would be possibly better on these guys than the sword. Doesn't matter that I'm not carrying poison, because poison doesn't really do anything to these guys anyway. I mean, they're skellies. They don't have blood vessels anymore, you know. Yeah, this is like Tyros the Kinslayer is the boss of this zone. Oh shit. Okay, who's coming? Ooh. I don't remember if these are tougher than the regular ones. They hit fairly hard. I think when I start getting short of healing, we're out of here. Also, this torch is like at 7 minutes in my... Oh wait, I can make more torches. I have material. Should I make more now? Why don't I make more now? Because I know I'm going to need them later. I can actually give her a one-handed weapon and a torch. Although torches do not last forever on thralls like most of the other stuff you give them. They will run out like a normal torch will. See, I dislike the idea of sort of getting jammed in these tight passages with stuff I might not be able to take down quickly. Also, I don't know if this door actually opens. I don't remember if those open from the other side or what have you. I don't think there are really, like, traps in here per se, but it's just, you know, it's just an area where you need to be careful just because there's so many undead running around. If you somehow, like, try to, like, run through here and get lost and then run into more of them, you're going to have, like, 4 of them pounding you into a corner pretty fast. I know that there's also a second entrance, like you have to find the frozen lake, like the part where they part of the frozen lake where it looks like they sort of like where a bunch of, like, you know, like an army fell through it at some point basically. And I'm gonna drink that now. Where is it? Yeah, let's think that raises, yeah, that raises my health more. And if you, well, first of all, can resist the temperature, and second, take like a breathing potion or something, you can swim under into a secret entrance that, where you can, I don't know how much that actually helps as far as getting through this place with less resistance. I think probably not. I don't want to go fight them in there. I'd rather bring them out here. See, I like that these guys, when they hit you, they do corruption also. I like that my dancer can remove that. Like she's removing it about as fast as they're giving it to me. This is lit enough that I should be able to see what I'm doing, at least. I know there's also a bunch of notes you're supposed to be able to find, but I'm sure I missed some of them. You know, mostly just Tyros describing his mental breakdown, basically. Do I want to know what those touch plates do? See, this is the part where, like, it starts to look dicey. I mean, I really don't want to fight the boss. I might actually just want to get out of here as soon as we, I don't know how long we've been doing this. Maybe go a few more minutes and see what happens. Okay, I can't see anymore, so let me just do that again. Oh, lasting feast. That's a nice find. Somebody's coming. I know there's some place you can fall into deep water down here, but I think that leads to, like, where the secret entrance would be, basically. Or that's where the secret entrance brings you in if you do that. Seems to be tough enough to handle one of them. I don't know what happens if 2 of them start interrupting her attacks, though. Can I see where I'm going again? There we go. I'm getting a little over encumbered. Let me... all I'm going to do is crunch these for iron bars, and I already have iron bars, so I can just ditch that. I don't really need to carry this bundle of stone either. Or this wood. That stuff is all basically junk. 1 silver nugget. Thanks. What am I going to do with that? Yeah, see, I don't know. This place is such a labyrinth. You have to be really careful not to get too lost here. You know, I was at full health a second ago. One of the things that I've seen someone point out is that I think they made in the sorcery update, they made the lateral movement, like sidestepping, a little more generous. Because there was a point where it was like I think it was like this in the really early game, and then at some point they did a movement rework. I think that was when they nerfed the dodge roll and whatnot, and like running like really, like, you know, going at, like running in one direction at full speed, like really kind of limited your sideways movement, and now I think it's kind of back to the way it was, because they realized that wasn't a lot of fun. Let me just heal up. I don't know if there's a boss in here. I don't remember where the boss is, actually. Like, where you, like, how far you have to go to meet him. Oh, there's 2 of them in there. How is she doing on level? Well, she's like level 9 and heading for... Where's my... Is that all the razor arrows I got? No, it isn't. Alright, there we go. Yep, knew it. Alright, here we go again. What are you swinging at? You know what, I think I had enough of this maze, and I'm going to start trying to find my way out, because I'm not actually fighting Tyros today. I just wanted to poke around in here a little bit. I mean, I've already done all of the bosses to get this keystone pieces and made the keystone and so on and so forth, so this is more or less just a convenient place to grind, because there's only so many skellies outside. Let me just drop this. Use my next one. That is... yeah, it's not usable. Okay. Those crates are decorative. I think we're almost out of here. Yeah. I think that heads to the front door. About... oh yeah, I think this area, like that water down there, is where you come in if you do the alternate route. I don't really know what that gets you, though. I don't know how much easier that actually makes anything. I never really tried it that way. The note is facing the entrance, so once I find the note, I think... Yeah, okay, here's the note again. So I guess this is out. Yeah, there we go. Well, coming up on almost 2 hours, so once I get my ass out of here... Haha, missed. Ow. There we go. Wow, this is back already. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so I hope the new router's performing okay. That was like long overdue because the one I had was like the crappy default thing they give you from the cable company, so it wasn't like the best thing I could be using. I mean, I had a lot of good times with it, but it's time to, you know, did most of my streaming career, so to speak, with that, but it's time to put it out to pasture. I don't remember there being this many of these guys here. There's quite a corpse pile. Alright, let me just get some health back. I need to check my encumbrance and see what I can drop here. I got one of these again. Yeah, it's not that essential. I have more bones and skulls than I know what to do with, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I have enough iron that I don't need one more tool to break down, so... Oh boy. Wait, let me rethink what I'm actually taking here. I know I don't need that. I know I don't need that. I know I don't need that. And that drops enough weight to get me moving again. There's another one here? I was wondering where the other two came from unless they came up the stairs. What about this one? Can I get him from here? She loves to just run in front of my shots. Okay, we got him anyway. That's just another skull. Less per Uric. Yeah, I think I'm done with that. Alright. Loot bags, like, disappear in like a minute. So if you drop something on the ground, unless like you're handing it to a friend and they're going to pick it up immediately, that stuff is gone. Alright, I don't see how that missed, but whatever. That's better. Alright, I guess we should probably just get out of here. Let's get back to our base for now. Anything good in here? Someone left us like seven stacks, you know, left us like a stack of like, you know, 7 units of compost, apparently. It's like, gee, I can imagine how this thing smelled when I opened it. So when you care enough to send the very best. I mean, hey, free compost. This run has really gone to shit. Yeah, I might actually have to drop some of this. Alright. Well, actually, no, I can... Well, she has a stack that, hey. Hey, you want to do me a favor that I'm never going to hear the end of? If you could just hold, this stuff for a minute. Yeah. Actually, that's not the heaviest thing I'm carrying. I think the coal is. Alright. There we go. Never mind. There we go. I kind of hate when it does that. Goes into like this, like sometimes your model starts like jittering if you fall like sort of between 2 rocks where there's not anything flat enough to stand on, but there's no more room to fall. Like your animation kind of goes nuts. Until it, like, you know, settles into like a standing position. See the sun coming up around here. I'm definitely wrapping this up as soon as I get to my base. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my yet another Insomnia stream. All the fun I can stand for one day, so as soon as I get back there we are done. So thanks to everyone who, you know, anyone who's lurking or whatever, you know, I always appreciate you, appreciate the support, and anyone who's appreciating this later, you know, when I export the Twitch VOD to my YouTube channel and so on. Just sort some of this stuff away before I do that. Alright, I'm just going to have her stand guard here. give her back, I think I have 2 of her foods. Well, actually, yeah, she's gonna have like 1 stack now, but I have like a whole freezer full of that stuff back at other bases, and there's other stuff I can give her. Actually, she can also use Lasting Feast, so I can actually give that to her too. Did I pick up a bunch of these? Yeah, alright, she can hang on to that. So I know that, I forget what attribute that helps, but I know it does something for human followers. Gonna eat that right now. Not even bothering with like 1 lone silver nugget here. Put some of these decorations in here. I always end up filling chests or artisan tables with these decorative things, and I don't really place them nearly as often as I could. Should really try and find more actual uses for those. Make some flasks. You have to be careful when you make shaped wood here that if you have a tier 4 carpenter that can do these, like make branches from wood or wood from branches or whatever, you get into a weird situation where they'll if you try to make as much shaped wood as possible, they'll eat up a whole stack of branches just to make wood, so that they can make a few pieces of shaped wood out of it. And you like, next time you go to make arrows, you're like, where'd all my branches go? So you want to like at least take those out of the bench for a minute when you do that. Just something I thought I'd clue people in on, since I kind of figured that out the hard way. Because so often you just click on this and then you run away to do something else and you don't see what they're actually doing. And then you're, trying to solve a mystery when you come back. All right, I think I've sorted out everything that needed to be sorted. I just leave this over here. I forgot why I was carrying this. This is a, problem with the drinks is that they take up a huge amount of encumbrance for some reason. which I feel is kind of it's out of proportion to their usefulness, and there's a lot of other stuff in the game that they, you know, they don't hit you that hard on the weight for that. So I'm not sure why they do that the way they do. Should probably throw a few down here just in case I need, you know, I like to have a few at every location just in case I end up respawning here and have to go look for my body in the dark or something. Basically never use bear pelts for anything. I think there's one armor that uses bear pelts and I never make it, so... Alright. Still don't have an alchemist to do this for me. They, I think at some point they added something that you couldn't fill the flasks as quite as fast for some reason. That after you filled like the first few, it starts giving you a cooldown on that. You can't click it as fast. Alright, I think that's enough for now. Go touch my bed and then we'll be out of here. Okay. Well, I think that about does it for now. Yawn, stretch, etc. Okay, well, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, thanks for being here, and I'll catch you next time. Stay safe till then. Bye-bye.